Hello everyone, this is Babu Raipudi, Director BRICS IAS Academy or BRICS Academy. I want to talk to you today something about change. In the sense, many a times what happens, we make a lot of effort, we try preparing for something, we try reading something, we try studying something, we try giving our level best, but still, most of the times we see students failing. Boys and girls, there are many things that you need to bring in change. If in case I'm not successful or you are not successful in anything that you have been doing, definitely the method, the technique, the process, the procedure, whichever you had followed was definitely defective. Some of you might be successful, no doubt about it. Some of you might not be successful in a way you expected to be successful. Some of you might be 100% happy, but still you wanted to have some improvement. When we want to have some improvement in our performance in most of the exams that you appear, or anything that you do, basically, I'm talking especially this one with relation to students, regard to students. Most of the time, students come to me and say, Sir, whatever notes is given, I followed, whatever textbook is given, I followed, whatever something is given, I followed, but still I could not get the marks that I expected. It is because you have been following something that others have been doing. You have been doing something how others actually have been doing. You're only trying to do something which others have followed, which you followed when you were in school, etc. etc. You're not trying to change anything. You're not trying to change anything. Remember, guys, unless and until, like, say, for example, if you look at the Indian nation or Indian economy, it has undergone a lot of changes in the recent past. Do you agree? Because of the changes that government has introduced in many areas, we are able to see the country which is beautiful right now. I'm not saying still it is beautiful, but I'm not saying that it has come to that stage where yes, all the citizens of this country are happy, but definitely we're happy because the way, the growth momentum, everything, the way it is taking place, definitely all of us are very happy. Being a student, if you're preparing for competitive examination, if you're preparing for anything, you need to always think about something, that what is that I'm doing, is that the way that I follow in doing things is really correct or not. Whether it is correct or not is dependent on whether you have been successful in following that method. If in case you are not successful in following that method, definitely there is something that you have to change. So I came up with just 10 minutes topic today for all the students to tell you, and students or anybody who's appearing for competitive exams or normal regular professional exams, what have change, and then that changes everything. That means if you do not change certain things in your life, you will definitely have the same life. Ever since I came to the city, Hyderabad city, I I thought that I would be, but I was literally afraid whether I would be able to establish my career in this particular city, because I came from a village background. I thought what to do. You believe it or not, then I understood one thing: I need to change the way I communicate, I need to change the way that I understand, I need to change the way I deal with people, I need to change the way I need to bring in so many changes which I could not do because they were not necessary. Being a student or being a candidate who's appearing for competitive exams and who's appearing for professional exams, unless and until you bring in some changes, it is not possible. You cannot change everything all at once, but you can definitely bring in changes. You can definitely start doing something right away. Let's look at this. uh yeah, I will make it here, please, so that you will be able to understand. You will never change your life until you change something you do daily. Routine. It's like every day I go to college, I go to coaching center, I go to school, and I read the books in a way that is expected, and I do all the things like how I actually do. If that is the case, you would have already been, if those things, practices, methods, techniques, systems, procedures, whatever activities that you've been doing, if they were really good, you would have achieved success, or you would have been better than this. The moment you start, I mean, after 20 plus years of age, you need to achieve some, you need to have some goals and visions, etc., etc. That's a different story. But to reach them, to reach those goals, to reach those visions, you are actually supposed to have some changes. Because if you do not change the way you do things, I'm telling you, things will have a control over you. You will not be able to achieve anything, trust me. So the secret of your success is almost found in your daily routine. Suppose if I wake up at early in the morning at 5 a.m., definitely I will have plenty of time. I will have time better than others. I will have more time than others. And I will be able to do things properly, calmly, without any tension, without any pressure, because I have ample amount of time and I'm able to manage all the things. Yes or no? I think you realize, because see your routine. Like, let's say for example, you eat more, you do not have any control over eating, and you will continue doing the same thing, then you will definitely see yourself putting on weight, because you never had a discipline on eating. And you always say yes for the friends. Okay, one friend will come and say yes, let's go outside, let's go out, then you will say okay, okay, but you want to satisfy everybody. Change. You really want to satisfy everybody? That is impossible, because people always wanted to use others because they need something from you. I'm not saying you shouldn't help friends, you shouldn't help relatives, you shouldn't help your family, but you need to understand what comes for you in that. Especially when you are in when you have a student life. Today what you do will determine your next 5 years or next 40 years career, right? Just be very careful. All right, next one. Change your life by changing one habit. You could have many habits, because habits are common thing. Like, you may have a hobby of spending a lot of time with the friends. You may have a hobby of spending a lot of time in front of TV, unnecessary programs. You feel bored, but you still continue switching on the channels and keep watching. You always know that some of your friends are not actually very positive minded, but still you want to do something. Still you want to spend some time, right? You need to change. At least you find out the hobby that is, actually troubling you. You find out the hobby that is actually troubling you, that is wasting a lot of time, that is actually giving you a lot of negative perceptions. These things you have to consciously make an effort, finding what exactly am I doing end of the day, and what is that it is not contributing for my success, what is that it is dragging me backwards, it is not moving me forwards. That is what you are supposed to think about. Ways. You need to change your ways. Way of thinking, way of talking, way of behaving, way of responding. Suddenly somebody comments on you, you will immediately get angry and say, you will react and you will start doing. See, many ways. Most of the ways that we usually do, we should change. Because of those ways, you try question yourself. Some of the, like, you get short tempered. I mean, you are short tempered, you get angry very faster. Understood? You come to a conclusion, you trust people simply. You always study just before the examination. You will always develop a fear before exams. You will always trust blindly others, and you don't even give a thought process. You don't apply your conscience and see whether to trust this person or not. In most of the ways, we commit mistakes because we always do what others have done. Change. Try to find out the way which is, you know very well, you know to your heart and soul, which one is actually blocking your success, which one is actually blocking your journey. You wanted to achieve something in life and something is blocking, so that means change the way you think, change the way you behave, change the way you speak, change the way you dress yourself, change the way you smile, change the way. I mean, I always, after recording this video, I'll definitely come to conclude, okay, I need to change this. This is an order, right? Many a times what happens, you will, after, ever since you finish your 12th standard, you will always be in dilemma as to which course, which career, which option has to be taken. Private job, MNC job, or India or abroad, or IAS, IPS, or CA, CS, CMA. Like this, there are so many courses. You understand one thing: if if you are really cautious and conscious about the direction in which you are traveling, that direction is very important, because it is ultimately going to help you to reach your vision. First of all, you have a vision, you have a goal, and you already have chosen one direction. And if that direction is proper, then you can't go. You want to become an entrepreneur. You want to become an entrepreneur, and somebody told you, you prepare for government job. You started preparing for government job. And you want to become a government employee, and somebody told you that go to BPO, go to this company, that company, college, may campus placement is there, let's go. You are choosing something which is not going to help your vision to be achieved, right? You're choosing something which is not going to help you to achieve your goal. The direction, suppose I wanted to start a university, a private university, maybe down the line next 10 years. So my path, my direction is very simple. I have to think about expanding my business in terms of opening more and more colleges, more and more academies, more and more schools. Then finally I will be able to establish myself, I will be able to establish a university. So you have a vision, you have a goal, but the direction is different. You spend, see, your vision is something, but you spend a lot of time on arguing, discussions on movie heroes, and you're so crazy you will sacrifice anything for the sake of this fan following, etc. And you want to achieve something, but you do something else. I'm not saying you should not do certain things what you actually do, but I'm only saying have a direction. Have, this is what I have decided. I will definitely try for this particular thing for at least few years. If in case you have decided to become IAS, IPS, or if you have decided to become CA, CS, CMA, if you have decided to get a bank exam, if you have decided to get a bank exam or whatever, you decide first. Give your effort on that direction for some years, some days, some months. Unless and until you change the direction, which is according to your goal or vision, you cannot have a direction and trying to achieve something. Change negative people. Most of us fail in life not because of us. I'm telling you, most of us fail in life not because of us. You will come and say, I want to become IAS, one fellow IAS. Then you will come, I want to become CA. I want to get bank job. There, mass. I want to be a singer. You? Ah. People will humiliate you, will insult you, will degrade you, will downgrade you, will try their level best so that you will not grow up. Sometimes this happens from your close friends, close relatives, even sometimes family members. That's why most of the parents will always encourage children, saying that, beta, you really wanted to do, but sometimes some parents will discourage also. In your heart, have you decided? Have you decided? Have you really assessed and analyzed that you're capable of achieving this? Then don't listen to anybody. Absolute silence you have to maintain. See that pig? Absolute silence. Let them bark anything. Let them say anything. Let them talk anything. Let them degrade you. Let them tell you, give it a try. Go for it once. Unless you actually have tried once, how will you say that you are not capable of doing it? My sincere advice. Because I never wanted to be a teacher. Then one fine day there was an opportunity to give a seminar. Then I gave a seminar. Then people started clapping, and after the seminar, almost 90% of people have said, yes, you're doing fantastic. That was a time I thought, okay, so I have the ability to teach people, I have the ability to motivate people, I have the ability to communicate with people. Then I decided, okay, this is my field. This is my field. But some people says, no, teaching will not be profitable, teaching will not have money, teaching will not have this, but teaching will have satisfaction. That only I thought only that one. Like this, whichever field you have decided, suppose you have decided to be an entrepreneur, definitely there's going to be a satisfaction called freedom. And you will definitely earn for yourself. You will not be dependent on others. If you, in case you have decided to achieve a government job, you have decided mentally. You see, when you have decided to do something, you must have already assessed the advantage of that. When you know the advantages of becoming that particular, why do you want to listen to these people? If you don't like something, change it immediately. If you really don't like something, change it immediately. If you cannot change it, change your attitude. Never ever tried. You will stick to that particular thing which you did not like, and you still want to stay there, and you continue complaining. That is too much. How can you complain? How can you complain when you don't like it? When you don't like it, which means it is not meant for you. You did not like science, you started reading science, you don't like it and you want to complain, then quit. Many people, for the sake of parents' aspirations, they became something later on. They left it and they achieved miracles and great things in their life. I will show you n number of people in the next video. The people who became CA but they became director. The people who became CA but they became this. And the people who became IAS but they became famous business entrepreneurs and highly successful in leading their businesses. Don't complain. You need to change your attitude. At any cost, you have to change, because it is the attitude towards achieving anything that matters a lot. End of the day, being in that profession, either you have to start falling in love with that profession. Being in that particular aspect, you have to start liking that profession. Instead of doing that, if you start complaining about it, seriously, there is something wrong. You need to, you really need to check yourself. Change your thinking, boss. Means what? I mean to say, never think negative. Never think this is not possible. Never think this is not going to be, this is going to be impossible. Never think I can't do it. Never think others failed, therefore I can't do it. Never think tomorrow is going to be dark. Never think day after tomorrow is going to be more bleak. Never think future is going to be nil. When you have decided heartfully and you already started preparing, on the road, on the path, many people will keep telling you so many things. Many a time students will, sir, I'm so confused. My brother is saying, my uncle is saying, my friend is saying, my college teacher is saying, my principal is saying, my neighbors are, oh my God, sir, I'm really fed up with these things. Understand carefully, because when you start consulting so many people on one particular thing, different people will try to give you, will try to give you different versions. A failed fellow will definitely talk about failure only, he will not talk about victory. But a victorious fellow will talk about victories. Meet such people. Change your thinking. Always think better things in life. Always thinks good things in life. No matter if somebody right in front of you is about to kill you, you'll just smile. This is what you're supposed to behave, like a cinema hero. No matter what, he smiles. Even if the villain comes with 500 people in Indian movies, you will find heroes. They will not show any fear at all, just with one stick or one thing. I mean, that could not be realistic, but attitude. It is the mind that wins wars. It is the mind that wins battles. It is not actually the power that you have. Understand this. Because the moment you start thinking positive about yourself, the moment you start thinking good about yourself, the moment you start thinking that things are going to be possible in future, you will be able to do anything. Change your resources. Many a times what happens, you will start preparing for something, you will start achieving something, you will start preparing for anything. Most of the people fail in life because they did not assess the resource availability for achieving this thing. I always strongly recommend, because based on my experience, based on many people experience, I'm telling you, either you should have an idea to mobilize resources, or you should have a plan to mobilize resources, or you should have resources, because you will be disappointed later. You started doing something, later on you were stuck where you are not able to mobilize resources, because of which you had to discontinue. If in case, so first of all, you have to, suppose you don't have resources, think the ways how resources can be mobilized. There are many ways. Some of the ways, so you have to give a thought process like this. If in case resources are there but not adequate, then you have to think about increasing the resources. You have to think about various options. Unless and until you think about this, unless and until you already had made an arrangement, otherwise you should have to, you have to make a proposition to the parents and say, mummy, daddy, I'm thinking of doing this. I think your salary is this, our income status, what do you say? Then they will come up with better ideas. They will definitely come up with better ideas. When you speak with the parents like this, they would definitely sit in, beta, I'm going to do, give it a go first of all. But without telling them, without understanding their resources, without giving them an idea, without having an idea of increasing resources, will face problem. It is not that people fail not because they don't have money. People fail because they don't have an idea to mobilize money. Many people started with zero. They could achieve something because they had an idea to mobilize resources. Change this thought process. Always change. First important thing, you need to change yourself. Means what? Your personality. Is it physical personality? Not necessary. It could be, but there are many areas and jobs which require good physical personality. Your attitude, your smile, your personality development, your mind, everything top to bottom. You need to start having positive energy. A person who has a positive energy, having almost 90% chances, even without or even having lack of resources, is going to achieve many things. Even in the beginning, I'm telling you, before I started my own college and academy, I'm telling I was not at all positive, because I always think that I don't have this, so therefore I can't do it. And used to be I used to show on my face my dissatisfaction, my nervousness, my fear, my hopelessness, everything I used to show on my face. Later on I realized, yes. So when I started my business for the first time, I just started with 4 lakhs. Yes, because you need to, because I thought, no, it's a time that I have to start. No option at all. Anywhere, first thing starts from you. Okay. Next important thing is change your confidence level. You should think about impossible things. You should think about crazy things. You should think about things which others will say that it is not possible for you. You should think about things even your heart will say it is not possible. Just jump off. Just jump off. But after making a lot of analysis, so this, you see, there are certain things that you would be able to do if you had already brought changes in it. First you bring changes in those areas, then take this kind of risky decisions. Let it be the current richest man in the world, Elon Musk. Look at his biography, look at his total story, how he started, how he took risk, how it is the thought process, it is the idea that has actually led him. He knew that something is going to be impossible. That time, 10 years before or 15 years before, whatever idea that he had was literally impossible. But he made it possible after a few years. Your confidence level has to be very high. I'm not saying overconfidence, but overconfidence comes when you did not think about resources, when you did not think about capabilities, when you did not have a plan how that is going to be mobilized, when you did not know where are you going, when you did not know what is your direction, when you have not changed yourself completely. That will be overconfidence. Change your confidence level, guys. Being a young people, I'm telling you, you should have long term visions and goals and aspirations and ambitions. For them, you should be ready for it. Unless you do something for what you want to actually achieve in day-to-day life, you cannot reach it. Change the way you trust people, because don't blindly trust people. Don't blindly go on this. Sometimes you don't know, the best of you will give a big hand. Have good people. I want to say, have good people around you. Having good people around you will definitely help you, because it is the people, end of the day, who will save your life when you're drowning. If the bad people, the people who are not happy with your growth, the people who are not supportive, the people who are not positive in mind, they will not change the way you trust people. Have the way you have people around you. A good people around you will definitely bring a lot of changes. Change your fears. Fear is something which will not help anybody to succeed in anything. Let it be any profession, let it be sports, let it be acting, let it be entrepreneurial journey, let it be anything. Let it be anything. Fearlessness is the only mantra. If you really want to achieve anything, if you really want something to fall in line in favor of you, you must start eliminating fear. It is not possible to eliminate fear in one go. In small things you start eliminating, then one day you will be able to eliminate fear on a big scale. You will definitely be eliminate fear on a big scale. If you don't start eliminating fear, and so tomorrow exam, fear. The flight journey, fear. Train is going very fast, running very fast, fear. You lied to father, fear. Your results are going to be out, fear. No. Most of the MNC companies are great jobs or big jobs. When you go, first important thing that you have to show up is fearlessness. That shows your confidence. If this you consistently show your fear, you will consistently fail in life. Change the timings of your daily routine. If in case you are getting up at 8 o'clock, please start getting up little early. Initially start with 7 o'clock, later on start with 6 o'clock. Finally you are supposed to get up at 5 o'clock. History, scientifically, and most of the successful people, first thing they would tell you, be an early bird. This is not an exception in any field. Most of the success people, ask one, some people though they are more crazy, they say I get up at 4 o'clock. This habit, so in my next video I will come up with the advantages of waking up or getting up at 5 a.m. Change. If you're sleeping late night, change it. If you're sleeping in the afternoon, change it. If you're always sleeping, change it. If you're not at all sleeping, change it. Anyway, you have to. That means we came to a conclusion that okay, I've been doing this. I've been doing this. I was not able. I was not successful in something. So that means there are many things that you need to change. Simple, boss. Final mantra I'm trying to give you in this video. You change, you will flourish. You change, you will flourish. If you don't change, you will definitely perish. I repeat, you change, you will flourish. If you don't change, you will definitely perish, because we human beings normally like change. I'm telling you, jokes apart, except changing people except changing your family members, change everything. Because this is very, very important. Because the world is changing very fast, and things are changing very fast. Technology is changing very fast. People mentalities are changing very fast. Challenges are changing, risks are changing, uncertainties are changing. When the entire world is running after a change, it is a high time that we need to change and clinch that what we want to achieve. Just because I did not change, or just because I could not change and control myself, if I lose a golden opportunity in future, regretting afterwards that you could not achieve because of I did not change. Oh my God, I did not change. That kind of any you find out today. My sincere advice and my objective of this session is to tell you, first sit alone and find out what things have you been doing which is taking a lot of time from you, which is wasting a lot of time, which is actually not contributing anything in life, which is not actually helping you in excelling in examination. Find out such things. You find out first, then start attacking one by one. It is not possible for you to change everything of you in just one night. It takes a lot of, it is a process, it is a gradual process, but you have to begin changing. Yes. With this, I'm closing. Have a good day. Take care. I'll come up with next video for another better motivation. Thank you so much.